World War II is known to be one of the deadliest war ever, and there are different reasons why it was caused. We will talk about the 8 main reasons why World War II has started. The first reason why it was caused is because of the Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles forced Germany to concede territories to Belgium, Czechoslovakia, Poland, West Prussia, and Upper Silesia. The Germans returned Alsace and Lorraine, annexed in 1871 after the Franco-Prussian War, to France. The treaty demanded demilitarization and occupation of the Rhineland and special status for the Saarland under French control. The most humiliating portion of the treaty for defeated Germany was Article 231, commonly known as the War Guilt Clause, which forced the German nation to accept complete responsibility for initiating World War I. Also, the global depression that happened in the United States soon after the market crash in October 1929 was the reason. Over the next several years, consumer spending and investment dropped, causing steep declines in industrial output and rising levels of unemployment. By 1933, half of the banks in the United States had failed, and 15 million Americans were unemployed. The economy would not fully turn until after 1939, when World War II actually made America industry boom. In 1933, Hitler became chancellor, which was also one of the causes of World War II. The year 1932 had seen Hitler's rise to prominence in Germany, spurred largely by Germans' frustration and dismal economic conditions and the still festering wounds inflicted by the defeat in the Great War, and the harsh peace terms by the Versailles Treaty. In an election held in July 1932, the Nazis won 230 governmental seats, altogether with the Communists, the next largest party. They made up over half the Reichstag. The failure of the League of Nations were also one of the causes of World War II. The League of Nations were made after the First World War and was made for peace. The League gradually died because of 2 major reasons. Firstly, Italy and a few other countries decided to leave the League in 1937, deciding to rearm as fast as possible. Secondly, a lot of policy made by the League of Nations had failed, including appeasement, which was negotiating directly with Hitler. Germany reoccupying Rhineland, a region along Western Germany, was also one of the causes of World War II. Under the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was not allowed to have any military force in the Rhineland area. However, in January 1936, Adolf Hitler began to make plans to reoccupy the Rhineland. He argued that the move was needed as a defense strategy, especially as France and the Soviet Union had renewed their alliance in 1935. In 1936, Germany reoccupied Rhineland, but France did not react. After the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire at the end of the First World War, the majority of the German-speaking people in Austria wanted to reunite with the new German Republic. However, this was forbidden by the terms of the Treaty of Versailles. Demands for the union of Austria and Germany increased after Adolf Hitler became the German Chancellor. In February 1938, Hitler invited Kurt von Schneeg, the Austrian Chancellor, to meet him at Berchtesgaden. Hitler demanded concession for the Austrian Nazi Party. Schneeg refused, and after resigning, was replaced by Arthur Seyss-Inquart, the leader of the Austrian Nazi Party. On the 13th of March, Seyss-Inquart invited the German army to occupy Austria and proclaimed union with Germany. The Nazi-Soviet Pact was also one of the major reasons why World War II had started. The Nazi-Soviet Pact was an agreement on non-aggression between Germany and the USSR. However, the secret protocol of the pact divided their spheres of influence in Eastern Europe. Therefore, Hitler was sure that the USSR would not interfere in his war against Poland, while the Soviet Union would get its own chunk of the Polish territories and would annex the Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. The Munich Agreement was also one of the causes of World War II. The Munich Agreement, a 4-part deal between Germany, France, Italy, and Britain, gave Germany the rights of the Czechoslovakia Sultanate in exchange for Adolf Hitler's promise to not invade any other European lands. The agreement was made on the 29th of September 1938, and Britain and France signed the agreement because they were anxious to avoid an alliance with the Soviet Union.